Hi, I'm Cosmender, and I love to plan big, extravagant events, even if I know they'll never actually happen. But it's okay, because it's summertime, baby. On a gorgeous, sunny summer day like this, I always think of my favorite Australian teen mermaid TV show, H2O Just Add Water, and its massively underrated spin-off series, MakoMermaids. So I thought, for my first YouTube video, why not do an event inspired by them? Of course, I got a little carried away, so keep in mind, not everything in this video is strictly possible, but it's fun to think about. Welcome to Party Planner, H2O Just Add Water, and MakoMermaids. Now, when I plan an event, I always think about three basic elements that we have to have: food, decor, and entertainment. In the food section, we'll be sure to have snacks, entrees, desserts, and drinks. In decor, we'll need to have lighting, seating, and flooring options, as well as some venues where it all takes place. And in entertainment, we'll have a collection of interactive and spectator events to suit a wide range of energy levels. Now let's start with everyone's favorite part of the food. Normally, I might want to arrange the items by type, starting with snacks and then moving on to entrees, desserts, and drinks. But in this case, I have two TV shows that I'm working with, so I might just start with H2O and then move on to MakoMermaids. And this will go for both the decor and entertainment sections as well. Items for H2O will be denoted by this pink to yellow gradient. The light blue to medium blue will be for MakoMermaids, and for any items that kind of apply to both TV shows, we'll use that blue to pink gradient that you see in the middle. Now, neither one of these TV shows is really centered on food, so it was a lot of fun to find inspiration for these different items. In this world, the mermaid characters all have magical abilities, so I decided to start there. Our main character, Cleo Satori, has the power of hydrokinesis, or the ability to move and manipulate liquids. So for our first food item, in the drinks category, we have bubble tea to represent the little water bubbles she makes, and some spiral straws to simulate the movement. Emma's power is hydrocryokinesis, so I've ordered some frozen treats for dessert, all made from fresh fruit juice, as Emma is a healthy fitness girly. Now Ricky, on the other hand, is a fried food kind of person. You can just tell. And since her power is hydrothermokinesis, we'll have some spicy fried cheese sticks for her over in snacks. Finally, to represent Bella, who came in to replace Emma in Season 3, we have a dish that's somewhere between snack and dessert, gummy candies. And that's because Bella has the powers of gelid kinesis and substantia kinesis, which allow her to turn liquids to jelly, or even crystal, and shape them as she pleases, as she did one time to make a gift for Ricky. A common device in these shows is the effect the full moon has on merpeople. In episode 7 of season 1, Moonspell, Emma goes a little moon crazy and starts eating sardines like popcorn. Hey, I guess it's a mermaid thing, but the question for us is, do we put the sardines in snacks or in entrees? In another of Emma's finest moments, in episode 12, Fish Fever, while under the influence of a cursed coral that makes her ravenous for seafood, she sneaks into the kitchen to pilfer the lobsters her mom was going to use to make lobster thermidor, her dad's favorite dish. And hey, of all the seafood mains to have at the party, this is a pretty fancy one. For this next one, I think I'll just let the clip speak for itself.
Very nice.
Ricky?
At least she was super far away from the barbecue. The girls and Lewis, their guy in the chair, discover a recipe for a wish-granting potion in Season 2, Episode 5, Hocus Pocus, which can only be used by mermaids. 2 spoonfuls of golden algae, 1 tuft of deep-sea seaweed, and half a cup of 3 different types of reef fungus. So while this pond scum pesto may not look appealing, trust me, it's delicious. Our last entree for H2O alone comes from this classic Ricky moment from Season 2.
Besides, my mum will be catering anyway, so I was just wondering if there are any particular suggestions.
Can't you do petite-sized watermelon cubes topped with smoked trout mousse and a sprig of mint?
Yeah, she can do that.
Shout out to Charlotte's mom for being a culinary sorceress. The first of the shared dishes is in the entree category, sushi. It probably won't surprise you to know mermaids eat a lot of seafood. Another major motif the two shows have in common is the obsessive consumption of juices and smoothies, with both shows having juice cafes as favorite hangout spots. MakoMermaids explores mermaid lore in a bit more detail than H2O. For example, Mimi, a character introduced in Season 2, is a member of the Northern Pod, which is shown to be quite adept at making magic. Mimi in particular appears to have a considerable talent for potion making. Are you brave enough to try one? Side effects may include turning into pink goop. David is the owner of the Ocean Cafe. In episode 11 of Season 3, Lost and Found, main character Zach must serve as the judge in a taste testing contest when his best friend and notorious cheapskate, Cam, tries to make a budget-saving version of David's classic burger.
But it doesn't compete with Burger 2, which I have to say is nothing short of a taste sensation. Burger 2 wins.
Thank goodness Zach's first loyalty is to burgers. To celebrate the Ocean Cafe's anniversary, Carly made David a special guitar-shaped ice cream cake. But due to typical shenanigans, the poor cake melted. This time, Cam came to the rescue, showing up with a perfect last-minute replacement.
Happy anniversary! Wow, ice cream cake, that's my favorite.
As the pièce de résistance, we have the perfect dessert, Mimi's tricky but exquisite Northern Pod recipe for Arctic marshmallow.
The flavors continue to transfer and you end up with some foul-tasting goo. It's delicious. It's tart, yet sweet. It's pretty amazing, huh?
Let's be honest, we're all dying to know what this tastes like. My guess is pink lemonade frosting. What's yours? And that's our full event menu. Which dish are you trying first? Now that we've sorted the catering, it's time to decorate. First, we'll need to decide on a venue, so let's check out our options. The most important location for both shows is undoubtedly Mako Island. In H2O, Mako Island is first seen as a bit of a spooky mystery.
I think we're out of fuel. Feel like paddling to that island?
Mako Island? Forget it.
No one goes there. It's surrounded by sharks and reefs and mangroves.
In spite of this, it will be visited very often, even used as a wedding venue. But in MakoMermaids, as the title suggests, it's even more significant, as we learn that the island is the ancestral home of a large pod of mermaids. The Juice Neck Cafe is not only an adorable early 2000s time capsule item, but also a surprisingly important set piece. Where else can you get both juice and internet access? As mentioned in the food section, MakoMermaids also has a central juice-serving waterfront cafe, the Ocean Cafe. But in this case, the seemingly unrelated combo business is a small boutique run by Zach's awesome girlfriend, Evie. Now, all these locations may be fabulous in their own right, but my personal favorite is Rita's Grotto. Rita is an exiled mermaid who has been living on land for years as a regular human, and high school principal no less. Unable to resist the call of the sea, however, her home contains a private grotto with ocean access, full of all the treasures she's collected on her solo adventures.
Hey! You gotta come see this.
What is this place?
With our location scouted out, we can get to work on the interior. H2O would not be the wonderfully nostalgic show it is without the heavy display of early 2000s aesthetics we see in almost every scene. The breezy, summery atmosphere of an Australian Gold Coast beach town combines with fashion and soundtrack to create a perfect laid-back snapshot of the era. So that's the vibe we want to capture in the decor. At the beginning of Season 3, Ricky's enemies-to-lovers counterpart Zane takes ownership of the former Juice Neck Cafe. The same great place, just with a hot new name.
I did kind of lie before. It's not my place. It's ours. Partner. What do you say?
We'll stick this item in the lighting category. This next item may seem like an odd choice, because Emma never went full Elsa by making an actual ice rink with her powers. That said, she doesn't always know her own strength, like that one time she accidentally froze the school's mean girl Miriam.
Problem solved.
Don't worry, she's mostly fine. Our seating options will be inspired by the fashion of iconic it girl Cleo. The upholstery should feature things like denim, sequins, and plentiful piles of purple. User Alexa Rose 221 on shoplook.io did a pretty excellent job nailing Cleo's energy. A general decor must-have for these shows is coral everything. They just love filming the mermaids and mermen in these gorgeous coral reef settings. And who can blame them? Nothing depicts the freedom of mermaidhood like swimming freely in the most gorgeous settings in the seas. On a similar note, merpeople make excellent use of shells, even using them as hair accessories. So when it comes to decor, we're going to need plenty of shell garlands and lamps. It would be hard to separate the mermaids from the ocean, so of course the beach itself is the most practical choice for flooring. We can use the sandcastle look to inspire the design of the furniture too. We'll even put Cam on duty to make sure no tiny terrors kick it over.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
We can't leave out the moon pool, of course. This is where the magic happens, literally.
Wow. This is like the cone of a volcano.
In Season 3 of H2O, we learned that there are a few moon pools in different places in the world. Bella's was in Ireland. Wayland's pod, the eastern pod, likely has their moon pool somewhere in the East China Sea. And of course, it's a big deal whenever a land person joins the mermaids. Mermaids who don't want any smelly boys around. With all the emphasis on moon spells, it makes sense to pull in the full moon as our chief source of light. But of course, we'll be careful.
Listen carefully. It's very important. You must not look at the moon's eye.
The moon's...
The full moon. It's dangerous.
Another option for flooring is the foreboding merman chamber introduced in Mako Mermaids. Apparently, the mermen of old were a tiny bit violent and power-hungry, so they built this chamber and a weapon that only they could use. Which brings us to the trident, a weapon so powerful it was said to have the power to control the seas themselves. And it also zaps mermaid magic. Probably best to just use these for lighting, eh? We now have a fully decorated party. It's like going back in time, and I might not want to come back to 2025. No party is complete without some fun activities. Good thing we have an unlimited imaginary budget. For this section, I'm going to switch things up and start on the east side of our map with Mako Mermaids. It really is a brilliant show, and I want more people to watch it. I'd be sillier than a dizzy starfish if I didn't put Mermaid School on the roster. Taught by Professors Ondina, Wayland, and Mimi, you're sure to come away with a few good stories, as well as some cool new tricks.
Don't worry, it just takes practice. Have another go.
For those who would like an up-close and personal look at the reefs, look no further than Evie's Reef Tours. Experienced diver Evie and her merman boyfriend Zach will show you a view of the ocean you've never seen before. Once you've dried off, Evie will escort you back to the Ocean Cafe for a bit of dress-up at her boutique.
You bet. The Halloween party tonight is going to be wild. Wait until you see my costume.
You have remembered to get one, haven't you? It's a fancy dress, remember?
Don't worry, it's all comped. Enjoy the free shopping spree. For those who would consider themselves risk-takers, we've set up a booth for Eric's Drink Challenge. Eric is a merman who made quite the big blue splash when he arrived in Season 2. But one thing I could never get past was how he was always bringing people drinks they didn't want or ask for.
Something to drink? I bet you're coconut smoothie girls. Serves in a coconut shell with a straw and a cute little umbrella. Delicious.
Well, I'm convinced. The contrast between mermaid and siren comes up a few times in the shows, but for the most part, our singing mermaids are no threat, except to boredom, and each has her own signature style. Bella jammed onto the scene in Season 3 of H2O, bringing her carefree 2000s pop sound with her, and giving us loads of glorious screen time for bandmate / effortless cringe machine Nate. Serena of MakoMermaids has a rich, classically trained voice more suited to show tunes. Her talents ranged from joyful ditties to traditional mermaid songs to the dangerous and forbidden enchantment song, which can be used to control men.
Would you like to come and play in my garden? So come on down and play with me. Just swim around and stay with me and share that ocean magic with me.
Finally, Carly got the chance to show off her sultry serenading skills toward the end of MakoMermaids, and she's probably got my favorite pipes of the bunch. I could be biased though, as Carly is one of my favorite characters overall, and I just wish she had more to do.
Show me that you love me, yeah. Tell me that I've seen your love today. Hold me so I know for sure nothing ever changes. Won't you show me anyway?
Oh, and I should probably mention the original H2O siren, none other than Cleo, doing whatever this is.
Let me through. I'm her father. Watch out.
What's going on?
It's Cleo. She's here. And singing.
We've got a stage set up in the center of town with each of our so-called sirens performing a small set. Luckily, Cleo will be busy elsewhere. Another shared aspect of both shows is the use of special jewelry. H2O featured lockets that were first worn by a previous group of human girls who'd been turned in the Mako Moon Pool, the group to which Louise Chatham belonged. With Bella's arrival in Season 3, the girls crafted matching crystal necklaces using stones found at the moon pool. And in MakoMermaids, we learn of the moon rings, which store charged lunar energy and enable mermaids to perform a vast range of magical acts, not just the few powers we see in H2O. That said, in all 6 combined seasons of both shows, we never see another person with Bella's abilities, not even Mimi. This one just makes sense, right? Once again, we'll put Cam to work. And I know, he can be a butthead, but at least he won't let his friends drink milk out of the hands of strange men.
Zach, you, better get down here ASAP.
Not for long, anyway.
It's just rain. A bit of water won't hurt you. Come on. I really don't think we should, Mrs. Gilbert.
Nearly every episode of each show involves the characters needing to avoid contact with water, or other various liquids, for fear of immediately sprouting a tail in front of everyone. Seriously, it's the main conflict. How have I not mentioned this yet? But anyway, we've got one of those dry deck fountains just waiting to play mermaid whack-a-mole with us. First one to get splashed is a slimy eel. Here we go, Cleo's time to shine. In the first season, our girl had the world's worst idea and decided to get a job at a local marine park. She stuck with it though, and eventually got a gig training and performing with dolphins. In the H2O anime, the girls can talk to sea creatures, so as a small homage to that show, our dolphin show is guaranteed to be volunteer only, with all dolphin performers getting paid handsomely in fish. As a way to make some extra money, Cleo's dad once also took a job at the marine park, but he starred in an exciting interactive pirate-themed show. Sadly, he couldn't stay for long, but we brought him back on board for our party, and he sharpened his swords just for us. If shows aren't your thing, don't worry, Lewis has you covered. Over at Lewis's lure crafting workshop, you can design and create your very own lure. Feel free to try your hand at fishing with it too. Biggest catch wins a Lewis original lure. And who wouldn't want one of those?
What is it?
It's the ultimate lure, designed by myself.
Well, it's certainly unusual.
Hey, Mr. Satori. Did you break something?
Over on the West End, Zane's reserved a dirt biking track and a bunch of rental bikes. We all get uncertain about the future sometimes. Go and see the enchanting Lady Chatham for a personalized, ominous, and unhelpful warning of things to come.
Beware! Beware of what?
What do you think?
I don't know. You're the one telling me to beware.
I couldn't plan an H2O party without including Kim, mostly because she threatened me, but also because I think her self-empowerment seminar might actually be good. I mean...
Will you go out with me? You? What can you possibly offer me?
The girl is brimming with confidence.
Play ball.
And while we're on the topic of H2O's underloved queens, Charlotte has graciously volunteered to host a beach volleyball tournament. Serving the ball while serving looks? She can hang again, as far as I'm concerned. For our last activity, we have an optional freediving lesson with the talented Will Benjamin. Don't worry, you won't be going too deep, but if we're lucky, he might show off a bit for us. There's the complete map of entertainment activities, a little something for everyone, and I hope you have a blast. Now for the best part, putting it all together. I can't get everything in here, but here's a little taste of what this could look like. Wait a second, something's missing. Okay, that's enough of that. And that was our H2O and Mako Mermaid party. Thank you so much for coming. If you had a good time, please consider liking and subscribing. This is my first YouTube video, so a little bit goes a long way. What would you add to a fantasy H2O party? Anything I missed? Let me know in the comments. Bye everyone, see you at the next one.